Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Extreme toy content ahead, including this amazing toy. One of my favorite toys right now to play with, this airsoft replica, is the KAC KS-1 made by VFC. Now, this thing is awesome. You may think it's the prettiest thing you've ever seen. I think it's pretty high up there. It's a beautiful replica. And what I tried to do with this when I first got it, or not when I first got it, eventually what I've kind of got it to now, I basically wanted to copy the Royal Marines with the little dagger under here, you can see there, the Royal Marines weapon that they have in their contract. So they did a contract or a competition basically to see what would replace some of the weapons, not fully replace, but some of the weapons that they have in their to use in operation. And this is the one that won, which is the KS-1. The pictures of it are awesome. Obviously, it's very noticeable by this suppressor that comes on here, and I just love the design of it, how it looks, how it feels. Playing with it's been awesome. I really, really like it. Now, what they had on theirs is they had a Vortex optic, which this is a repro of from Evolution Gear. They had that optic, and it is a version that I cannot get a real steel or repro version of. It's a short, stubby little one. It's really, really cool looking. Unfortunately, I can't get one. And in the contract, all of their optics and mounts match the same color as this kind of khaki FDE paint job that Knights Armament have done on this replica. So the Reptilia mount, this is a real one, comes in this color. The ACRO is kind of a similar color again to this one, and the actual optic itself is that color. I can't find those, so I've basically tried to get as close to I can with it, and I think it looks great. I do really, really like it. However, I do have issues with it just in terms of the look. It's not what I'm trying to do, and because of that, the function, which is threefold really. Number one is the actual optic. This Vortex is really, really good. However, I have a Sig Sauer Tango LPVO, and that is actually amazing because the illumination of the reticle inside, I can kind of use it like a normal red dot. This one has illumination, but it's got illumination of all of the different distance markings. And so when you have it zoomed to 1x like this, like I normally have it zoomed because it's airsoft, it just looks like a kind of mottled red area. And it doesn't really work as a red dot. Obviously, you've got the ACRO here. The issue, though, is the ACRO is too high. It's here, and for me to use it, my head needs to be up here. And it's just not kind of I want to be able to tuck this in and use it, and I have to have my head up here to be able to use it. It's not comfortable. It feels weird. And actually, the height above board doesn't matter as much for airsoft, but I can't actually adjust the reticle or the ACRO P2 down low enough to shoot something that's close range. It has to be slightly above it, and it's just kind of annoying. So that's another reason. Height of this is too high. The reticle on it's not good enough for using by itself. And the actual Reptilia mount, which is very expensive, it's just too low. I want an extra half an inch on there just so that I can have this higher. So this is too high. This is too low. The reticle is not good enough, and if it color matched, I would be 100%. I'm just going to keep it like this. I don't care. It's kind of matching what it is, but it's not. I actually already filmed this video, and I unfortunately stopped filming it because I came up with an issue. What I've decided to do is to go with this. I'm going to put this on here, which is the LPVO optics mount from PTS. It's a copy, and it's in collaboration with Unity Tactical. They make the real steel version. PTS have got the licensing, and they do this. I have got this on my APFG Spear LT, which is this right here. And I got it in black, and I actually really like it. It's a perfect height. Obviously, it's not going to be true to what that replica is, but it's a perfect height, and it also has this option, which is the main reason I'm going for it. It has a plate that you can offset mount, and then you can put a micro red dot. So I really like this. As I said, the Tango sight on it is really good because I can put the illumination on and it just works really well. Having that little quick switch to this offset optic here works really well as well. So I know it's going to ruin the look of it. It's not going to look as true to form. But what I'm going to do is switch over the mount on here. Now, I was going to keep this Vortex optic. Like, that was the plan. I was going to basically just switch it over. The color of the Reptilia is a bit weird anyway. It clashes slightly with this. I know, again, it doesn't really matter for function. But I, in the last video, started taking it apart and found out that I have got the wrong diameter of this, or this PTS LPVO. I don't think you can get different diameters of it. This is the diameter you're going to get. So I tried to put the Vortex on there, and the Vortex is too wide to fit in here. So in this video, what I'm going to do, sorry, a very long-winded way of saying it, but in this video, I'm going to take this tan, or FDE, Dark Earth, I think it's called, LPVO optics mount. I'm going to basically take the Sig Sauer Tango MSR off this. I'm going to put it onto this. I don't know what I'm going to do with my APFG. I'll play around with that and I'll change it. And then I'm going to try and take this ACRO, and I'm going to take this ACRO modular plate mount, which I actually bought from Unity Tactical. This is a real steel one. And I'm going to try and offset this ACRO on there. And we're going to try and make this thing look really cool. Unfortunately, not like the Royal Marines Contracts one, but it is hopefully going to look really cool. So there's going to be a lot of unscrewing in this, just as a heads up. I'm going to be undoing a ton of actual screws, getting them all set up. And hopefully we're going to end up with something that's really cool. But I want to know from you guys, what do you think of what I'm doing here? Do you think that this is like heresy, where I'm just, I should be keeping it like it should be because it's a very, very cool design? Or are you happy that I am going to lose these Reptilia pieces? It's got springs in here, and I hate springs. If you watch the channel, you know that. So I need to be careful that I'm not losing those. It's like my favorite thing to do is lose springs. So I can get rid of the KS-1 for now. And what I'm going to do is... Actually, I don't need to... All I need to do is take the ACRO off this, don't I? I was going to take this apart and then remove the razor, the Vortex razor from here, but I don't actually need to do that. I'm just going to take this ACRO off because that's all I need from this part. And then I can start working on removing that mount from the APFG Spear LT. I love the Spear LT. So it does. The other thing that feels a bit weird on this is the fact that I am kind of taking apart a build that I actually really like. Like, I love the function of it and how it feels. So it does feel weird I'm doing that, but well, what I have to do, I have to do. And right now my focus is on this KS-1. So we're gonna go with it. Okay, so what I need to do now, we can put this away to one side. These actually run on the same mags as well, because this technically is actually a VFC as well. I do love this thing. This thing is so, so cool. Okay, so we're going to take this off. And then, although all I need to do is actually take this Sig Sauer out. I'm making a lot more work for myself than I'm thinking, because I may run that Reptilia mount on here. But for right now, all I'm going to do is take this LPVO off, and then we can work out what we're going to do with the APFG later. I'm going to have to either run that Vortex on it or get another LPVO that's actually going to fit. It's very tight. It's actually going to fit the Unity Tactical mount that I have on this. To be honest, this is black, and I don't know why I got black when I was putting it on a tan or FDE SIG kind of replica. Didn't make a lot of sense, but maybe they didn't have the FDE one available. I can't remember when I bought this. But these mounts are unbelievably expensive, just as a heads up. For a repro mount that is not real, which is recommended, I think, not to use on a real steel firearm, it's $146.99. So $147 for a repro mount is so much money. You know, it's like I did a review recently on a $70 micro red dot or a T2 repro. And so you can get 2 of those for the price of just this mount, which seems a bit weird to me. Okay, that one's good. That one's good. Okay, so we're taking this top piece off. Taking this top piece off. It is also going to be weird having a SIG branded thing on a KAC. Like SIG on SIG, which is what I have on this, kind of feels like that's normal. That's what we should be doing. Now I'm going to have not SIG on, well, no optic on this SIG for now, and then I'm going to have a SIG optic on a KAC, which I don't know. It's probably going to get to the end of this video. I'm just going to turn around and say, why did I do that? Let's take it all back and tune into the next video, and I've just swapped it all back again. Okay, so this is the optic we're going to use. One thing I actually love on this, which I'll show you, is you see this white line that runs down there? That basically is to line up the optic so that you can kind of sit it and you sit it flat. Because sometimes with these LPVOs, trying to get it flat is really, really hard. So you can line it up with the seam on here and you know that it's like flat, lying flat, which I actually just think, why haven't they done that on more optics? Okay, so we'll put these down and just screw these down quickly just so that we don't lose the screws. And then we've got that one, this one, this one. But any ideas, guys, of what I should do, what I should put on here? I could just try and buy a very cheap LPVO. And then I've actually just unboxed, if you haven't watched that video, go and watch it, the Prow XM5. I've talked about doing an LPVO on there. So maybe I go and put that Vortex on that Prow XM5. But again, it's like a non-SIG optic on a SIG, which is weird. I do think I prefer for airsoft this Tango MSR. It's 1:6, not 1:8. But again, for airsoft, I don't think that matters at all because you're really not going to use the 6x magnification. And I just like how clear the optic is with the reticle. Okay, so that looks very strange, isn't it? Put this to one side. I'm going to fold this up. Right, we'll put that there. Now we are going to get this guy into the new mount. And it should fit. Like if it doesn't fit, I'm going to freak out because it should definitely fit. There is no reason. It's the same brand as what we've just taken it off, just in a different color. My 4-year-old's just about to run in, so 1 second, I'll be back. Sorry, I'm back. Okay, so take this open, get this off. Yeah, so this is expensive. In the box, basically, you're getting 3 plates. 3 different, well, sorry, 2 plates, it looks like, and then one of these, which is the offset side mount bit. So that's going to sit there, push it off to the side, and then allow me, hopefully, to mount the ACRO. Now, with how this has gone so far, with me not being able to get the Vortex sight to fit, I wish they just did a larger diameter. I think this is like 30 mil. I'll put a link to it below so you guys can go get it from Evike if you want it. As I said, it's $150 basically. This is so annoying. Okay, so this guy is off. Next one. But this sits a lot higher. So I'll show you in a second just how much higher this sits. So it should mean that instead of having too high, too low, on this I'll have 2 medium, which should be at the right height, judging on how my APFG is. It's probably one of my favorite optic setups of all of the replicas I have, is that one. Okay, so let me show you the height. So this is the difference in height there. You can see if I put them level, this one's quite a bit higher, as in the midline is sitting basically at the top here of where the top of the replica of the sight is. Weight as well, this is probably slightly lighter, I would say. Let's go with this. Now I can look at this line, and this is what I was saying with this line, as you see here. I can adjust it so that it sits in the middle of where this clamp's going to be. So I'm going to start with the front one. It doesn't matter which top I put on because they're identical, or should be. Now we can put it into tighten mode. I'm going to just tighten across and across. Because I want the gap to be the same on either side. Okay, that is slightly rotated that way. That I think is perfect there, so I can tighten it down. I want to use a slightly larger screw head on this. Yep, there we go. Don't want to over tighten it. There's an optic, so don't want to damage it, but that looks great. You can put this guy on. This magnet keeps picking up the screws. Again, another great thing with this tono is I can kind of just rotate and spin as much as I want and then start torquing it down because it has this free rotation here. Okay. Turn that. Turn that. Turn that. Turn that. Okay, so that is what this is now looking like, which looks pretty good, I think. Like the match of the colors compared, I think is going to be better. Like here, this is the Vortex, and now this is the Sig Sauer Tango MSR that's on there. Right, next bit is going to be, let's attach this, and I'm trying to remember how to do this now. So what I remember is I need to basically attach the back of this. I'm going to try and see on this one. So this is basically this offset here. And so you can attach it at the front here with these screws, or you can put it at the back. So I liked it at the back. I think that's what I'm going to do for this one as well. Because I can't imagine I would want it further forward. What we should do first, though, actually, is I'm going to undo this. I'm going to do the undo. Take this plate off. So we want to attach it, but I'm going to try and attach the ACRO to this piece. Sorry, I'm not showing you where. I'm hoping that maybe Evolution Gear or one of the others release a version of the Vortex, which is like the condensed down version. Okay, so now that's going to allow me to get that off. These, I think, are actually not as long as the two other ones they give us. There's actually a couple of washers on here as well. So I think that when you're attaching the other plate, you want to use these slightly longer ones. Yeah, so there's slightly longer screws that come with it, with the plate. So I'm going to put these little metal washers on top here. So we have these. I'm going to do the same with this one. I'm going to put these screws away, the shorter screws that came in it. The other screws in here we're going to have to use to attach onto this side piece. That's going to sit there. Let's see if this ACRO fits on one of these sites. So this one, I don't know. It looks like it's kind of meant for an ACRO, one that came with it. If not, I'm praying that the fast modular accessory suite. This might work, weirdly. Okay, so we want to open that up. No, I don't think it is. I think it's too wide. Yeah, I think this is going to be too wide and it doesn't have that same grip piece. Yeah, okay, so that's not going to work, which means that we are going to put this to one side. One thing that is kind of a little bit annoying is I couldn't get this in FDE. I could only get this in black, which is fine just because this bar, which attaches on the other, is black, so it will kind of tie in. There are also black pieces on the I just lost a screw on the KS-1 itself. Okay, so this is going to attach on here and that fits fine. So we're all good on that. What I need to do though is that's going to be facing that way. So I just need to make sure that we put the plate on the right way, because it isn't just like a straight thing. There is one side which will go on there. Okay, so this is going to sit like that, which means we need this guy. It's sat there to go like this. Okay, so we may have an issue here. Doesn't have the ridge to sit there. I'm hoping that these screws then will still fit, because it should kind of have a ridge. Unless I have to attach this on here, that wouldn't make any sense. There's a ridge basically in the top of this mount right there, as you can see. The ones that come with this have a ridge on them so that that can just sit straight in there. This one, however, does not, and that's the real one. So I'm hoping that it will just screw in and sit there. If not, and the screws are going to be long enough, if not, then we have an issue. We should be okay. Okay, so which way again do we want this? We want this facing that way. Yep. I'm definitely going to have to thread lock this though. 1 second. Sorry again, my kid is going to jiu-jitsu and he wanted me to take him, which is incredibly cute. I just don't have time, so I've got another call in about 20 minutes after this video. Okay, so that's going in fine. Now it does look a little bit awkward, just in terms of like how it's sitting. You can see there's a bit of a gap, but it's gonna sit fine, I think. I can't see there being a big issue. I just need to make sure I go back and thread lock this afterwards, assuming that it makes sense and works well. Okay, so I'm going to tighten this up, but not too tight because I need to undo it. Okay, we don't need that. What I need now is to get this ACRO attached. So that's going to sit there. We need a smaller one of these. Yep. I'm back again. Okay, so this actually has gone on fine. which is great. Now what I need to do is attach this. Oh no. Oh no, it's fine. I thought we had an issue there where it was going to be too close and I was pushing it like that. And actually it looks like that sits almost perfectly. So that's going to be what it looks like from the side. I'm going to go LPVO, bang, rotate to the ACRO. It's a bit more bulky than what I've got on my other one. I need 2 small screws, which come with this, to go into, I think maybe these ones. Or maybe these, which are, no, let's try the longer ones. Do those fit? Yeah, my kid was just giving me a debate on whether he was going to go to jiu-jitsu or not because he wanted me to take him and not his nanny. Which right now I feel like it's kind of like life lessons. Okay, it feels like that's too long. Let's pull this out and just see what the length is. I don't want to break this $150 mount. What is going on here? This is now attached in a way that I can't get it out. It's rotating. This is so strange. It's almost like it's threaded itself in somehow. Like, look at this here. Like that's that little, oh, the magic of the camera. That must be what it was. Okay, so I'm going to go with a slightly shorter version of this. They have one. Which maybe is this guy. It looks like that's got a slightly thicker thread as well, so maybe that was the issue. Okay, so that's going to go there. This is going to go here. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to flick this over. Attach this in here. Okay, that's definitely better. I think it was just the wrong size thread and it was almost like slightly too small. So it was almost rotating inside. Okay, and then that's pulling that up to the right location. I don't want to strip this, and that just did a little bit. Larger screw, I think that's why. Okay, that's in. That's in. Okay, now we have these 2 guys, which are going to attach it to the replica. Okay, so that's staying in there. Right, we are back to the KS-1. So this will be our final piece, hopefully, where we're putting this guy on here. Now I've got to get this lined up so we like where it's sitting. Or the distance from my eye is going to be good. Okay, so if we're there, that actually is pretty great, I think. So that's kind of in line. Generally, I find with LPVOs, it's kind of generally in line with the rear of it is where I like it. This is just a straight bar. So I'm going to position this here. Yeah, I don't think there's any angle on it. And this guy is going to come in here. Start threading in, hopefully. These should all be the same. No, they're not the same length. This one should be the tallest one. And then these two, sorry, that one should be the shortest. And then these two should be slightly longer because they've got to now go through this mount and they're the ones we changed. And then this guy here. Okay, that feels good. That's coming through the end now. Okay, we'll tighten them up. And this guy is the last one. Okay, and again, that seemed like I was stripped that slightly. That's now solid. Okay, so this is now what the KS-1 is looking like, which if I put the illuminator on, it's just a lot more function. So I've got that ACRO right there, which I can turn up or down. The down is quite hard. Like there's the button on the bottom of the ACRO here is right in there, in that kind of zone. And you can get your finger to it. I mean, my fingers are quite big, so it's not like I think most people would have an issue. But let me just try it outside. You know, I might move it slightly further forward. I don't know, that does feel pretty good. So I've kind of got like a bang, 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 bang. And then it's got the adjustment of zoom in, zoom out. Yeah, I think that feels pretty great. So guys, I want to know what you think. Are you kind of very disappointed that I've now taken this KS-1, switched it over to this kind of like bastardized version where it's got the ACRO mounted on the side? Or do you think that this is a lot better? Do you prefer, like I had a couple of comments recently on videos where I was like, oh, is this too big or too small? Just play with the eye relief as well. Is this too big or too small? Or like, is it too high, the actual riser? And a couple of people were just like, look, you should see how comfortable it is. Just go off comfort. So definitely function over form. But I like it to look cool. I still think this looks really cool. So let me know, guys, what do you think? Do you think it looks cool? Do you think I should go back to the other version with the Vortex? I'll probably switch over the Vortex now and put that onto that XM5 from Prowl. And that'll be another video where I do that build out and make it look cool. But let me know, guys. All right, have a great day wherever you are, and I will see you very, very soon. Goodbye.